couldn't keep it in front of you. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we got that now. I really hope this wasn't the whole thing, because it was acting fine earlier. But it seems like we're okay now. I don't know, folks. Hopefully that wasn't totally lost. So to clarify, Miguel? Were you good on fuel that last run, or would you have had to make another pit stop without the caution?
I think I would have probably had to start saving, like right before the caution came out. I was starting to lift more, so I was kind of like on the line. Like
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
think I was good, but there was a good chance I probably wouldn't have made it on fuel.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like, I mean, I wasn't saving at all, granted, but yeah, if you were saving enough that you would have been able to save to the end, that's real impressive because I could not. I wasn't even close. I think I would have had to pit with about 15, 20 to go.
Yeah,
I
I was thinking you guys were gonna be, but the way you were talking about fuel saving, I wasn't sure, so just thought I'd ask.
I just started lifting a little earlier and just carried the speed in to the corner, and then whenever someone got a little closer to me, um I just hit my usual spots.
Well, I mean, you definitely called your shot. You said you felt good about Homestead coming into the playoffs when we talked to you, and you backed that up big time Monday night. Are you planning on running the holiday dash races with us, and obviously getting ready for season 2 in January?
Yes, I do plan it. I probably won't be doing anything for the holidays that won't take too much of my time, so I'll be there.
I guess going off of that, so we've got our shorter races with the Holiday Dash here, about half length of what we're on season. So I'll just go ahead and real quick read off the races in that Holiday Dash, and if you can just give us a idea of what you think your one you're really looking forward to. So we got Daytona, Las Vegas, Bristol, Michigan, and Charlotte. Any of those pique your interest?
Vegas. Always usually pretty good at Vegas, and it's home for me. So
I was gonna say
Uh,
I anticipated him saying Vegas with how fast he was there this season.
I was reading it off, and I'm like, I think I have an idea of the answer to this question as I'm asking it, but But this time at least you won't have to deal with different strategies. So maybe just on that raw speed, I think you were probably the fastest car at Vegas, but Field's strategy ended up being the one that won the race with Dakota. But I think you were definitely the fastest there. So I think without that Field strategy, maybe we see you just riding off in the sunset with that win.
hopefully we'll see.
All right, so I guess we'll just close real quick by we'll let you just kind of say what you will about your race, anything um, about this season or anything like that that you just wanted to highlight for your own performance. I know that didn't quite make it to the championship four, but you had a really strong season. I wanted you to give you time here to reflect on that.
Uh, Overall for the season, it was like how I mentioned before. It's my first league, so it's been different trying to do like fuel strategies and things like that. Just because I've never really ran races that long, so I think I did pretty good on that. I just think I did need to test more just to like because I fuel strategies kind of messed me up a lot this season, just like Vegas, and then I think Phoenix. I don't know what I did. I think I clicked something and I didn't take enough fuel, and I had to take an extra stop. But other than that, it was a fun season. I really enjoyed it, and it was looking forward to the holiday dash in the next season.
Always frustrating when you bump something in the pit and have to come back and do it again. But yeah, man, you had a great first season in a league setting. 178 laps led, 9 top fives, 5-1 average finish, and then as we highlighted so far tonight, finally getting to click off that win on Monday that you've been knocking on the doorstep all season for. So really glad you were able to pull that off, and looking forward to running with you more as we go.
Thank you. Looking forward to running with you guys too.
All right, well, thank you for joining us here. We got you in here before the race because we ended up getting a late start, but we'll go ahead and highlight your race and watch as you dominate the field, basically. All right, I'll see you later, Miguel, and looking forward to next season with you.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Looking forward to see you guys.
See you, man. Ready to see you again next season for sure.
All right.
Alrighty, let's get into this aforementioned race now that we got sound and audio back. I don't know what the heck happened there. We had sound all pre-show and live TV, folks. The beauties of it.
Both of you to assume we're TV level quality.
Well, the
Live
issues that
streaming.
we've had so far, it couldn't be more fitting the race we're about to watch with those issues, because it's about the same concept, I think.
Yeah, they're not far off. Cam stole the pole here. I say stole.
Really
I'm
cheated
always
to
the
do it.
one.
He cheated to do it.
That's what I was
Okay.
thinking. Change the format, change the time of the race, all that good stuff.
Well, if we're blaming anybody, you gotta blame the old 24 there.
That's true.
Well, look, it's not my fault. I practiced running the top for one lap, then the bottom for the other.
Okay, do you have car sounds at all?
And let's see. Let me see if I have car sounds. No.
Okay, because I don't have them either. So somehow everything has reset on my computer. So bear with me, folks, as we
And here's
end
your
this
weekly technical
disconnected. There
difficulties.
it is. Fun stuff. Why would tonight be any different than the rest of the season?
I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but I didn't stumble over the intro this time, so I mean, we got.
Well, you
Finally
know
got
what?
that
That's been the problem the last 2 weeks. Honestly, I'd have to assume.
I've taken
There we
the
go.
good luck that you've had
All
on
right.
technology, and I've put it toward.
We have rooms. There's the same we talked about all last week. Biting Jackson.
Oh, he hit that in the worst possible spot, too.
Yeah, I'll go back and cover it here. But here is our first yellow, as we talked about with Miguel, lap 1. Cameron, you want to talk us through your mindset?
I was looking out the rearview mirror at Jackson. Didn't know where the corner was. I just drove in too deep and lost it on cold tires and trying to keep it out of everybody's way, but in the process got into you and maybe somebody else. I can't quite remember who all got involved in that.
I think Brandon hit the wall avoiding you. I don't think you hit him, but
Yeah.
All I can say.
Unfortunate, didn't want to start my race like that, and didn't want to affect obviously the championship guys at all. But got it out of the way quickly, I guess, in terms of actually making contact. It just looks like he got loose off the corner.
And all I can say is thank goodness for fast repairs, because that was me and my teammate out if we don't have fast repairs. Lap 1 of the championship race. So
Well, that's half the field out lap 1 if we don't have fast repairs. So, but yeah, that's definitely something we've been very liberal on this season is the fast repairs, and I think we've had 2 for every playoff race, and 1 or 2 depending on the race in the season, and something we'll reevaluate as we go into next season. I think we're going to do at least 1, probably not 2 given the race lengths. And if we get the field size that we're looking for, then we shouldn't necessarily need them.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing is the field size. Like, we have 8 in the field, so if 2 of us are out of it completely, 3, I don't know what your damage was like, but 3 cars out of it, that's gonna be a fun race for the 5 remaining.
Yeah. I mean, who knows if Brandon was able to continue from hitting the wall. It looked like he didn't hit it that hard, but oh man, I didn't realize how far I was laying back there.
Should have been black flag.
Yeah. To be honest, the outside line benefited from it though. Ooh. Oh, I didn't even know that happened. Oh, I think I do remember that happened, but I saw he saved it.
Yeah. Jim did a good job
eventually
gathering it together. He lost 14 seconds in it, but I think this is just inexperience, not realizing he's the control car waiting on the green, and I think it just stacks everything up. Probably his first restart as the leader.
Be interested to see if he gassed it up and that's why I was so far behind. I'm trying to figure, because I think that, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was doing.
It's a common theme in this one.
Yeah, whatever. Jim Jackson with the fastest lap early on the race. I like that point. Do we run a race or a lap on the green? No. Still. Your credit where credit's due.
Yeah, he just doesn't go until the green.
Yeah, I didn't know I was that far back. I figured I was on his door, but at least part of my car would.
If you could see his door, you're way back.
Well, I knew I was meaning to go a little bit further back, avoiding the black flag. I wasn't sure exactly. I'd never restarted next to Jim, so I wasn't exactly sure how he would handle it. So I didn't want to risk getting a black, but I didn't realize I had played that far back. Doesn't really affect anybody in the outside line as he gets a little slow start and ended up benefiting everybody. I think top 3 in that outside line ended up top 3 out of turn 4 here. Yep.
And then it becomes fuel save.
Not for me. I'm still going all out.
Well, and I guess really not for anybody, because the number was 45 to make it on 2 stops, and thanks to the early caution, everyone could hit that.
Yeah.
Something I didn't account for. And I really struggled because I didn't think that saving would be the move. I thought you'd lose too much time. But if all of you guys are saving, then you guys are only racing each other. And you're not saving now, and I'm not realizing that. So I lose a bunch of time. And don't commit to going hard until I lost 6-7 seconds. You can't recover from that. So
going into this race, I kind of knew that I was going to try to I was going to try to 3-stop it and not even worry about fuel. But I knew I think he was around I needed to buy myself like 45 seconds by the end of by my third stop. Probably more closer to like 40, 35, just because I wouldn't be fuel saving. I basically needed to come out within 10 seconds of the leader to have a shot after my last stop, and I kind of realized later in the race, as me and Miguel are battling, that I was not nearly far enough ahead of Dakota in order for it to be, because I think I would have came out about a little bit less than a lap behind him, and that's just, I wouldn't have been able to overcome that gap, so I kind of figured that the saving would have ended up working.
Dakota,
Yeah.
was your plan a 2-stop from the get-go and then the caution helped, or?
Yeah, so I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I was just kind of gauging what y'all were doing. So the caution coming out early, that's when I noticed I was going 45 without saving. So it definitely made the 2-stop very, very easy to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my plan. I would say I was on a hybrid strategy. Without the early caution, I'm kind of like on the fence between 3 and 2. And when I started pulling away from Jackson late in this run, you'll hear me start clutching. I was definitely starting to lean more into the 2-stop when I realized that he was also.
My plan, my hope, was to run, especially when I qualified up front, kind of bait you guys into thinking I was doing the 2 and then doing the 3, because, you know, if I feel like you guys react to me if you think that if I think I can save and make it, I think you guys kind of lean that way based on like the Vegas stuff and all that. And then getting shuffled to the back, I was saving off the back, couldn't really bait anybody, and I just ended up losing a bunch of time. So,
Well, so right here, I mean, we're already starting to see it. I'm looking at my relative at you because I was like, if anybody is like max saving right now, it's gonna be James. And I look up, and you're just constantly losing time. So I was like, I don't really feel like that's gonna work. So I never went that way.
yeah, and that's why I was hoping to be up front. You know, if I could make you hear me clutching, I feel like I could have baited you guys into saving, and then I could have just dipped from like P4 to pit road on lap 35 and sent you guys into a little bit of a scramble.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Dakota knew my strategy going in, so I wouldn't have been able to trick him, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't. You probably would have had a very compelling strategy pitting that early. I figure that that's around the lap that you should hit for max time in terms of being able to be there at the end. But I have always been bit whenever I try to pit early, and so I was planning on pitting around where I ended up pitting around 38, 39, because I didn't want green flag stops to start and then somebody wreck and ended up going a lap down. But ended up, I think we got through all of the pit stops, the green flag stops went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I mean the last cycle doesn't really fully start. Let's get to.
Okay, we skip over meeting past. Let's do that.
Okay, yeah, we won't show that.
we don't need to. We don't need to cover that.
We saw enough of that this season.
Hey, no.
All right. So just to gauge, this would be the lap I believe I pit, starting lap 35 here, and I am 7.7 back of Dakota for the lead. And that's just too far.
I will say this. Even if you were right behind me and you would have dipped into the pits at 35, me and Cameron had this conversation of like, what is James doing?
Yeah. I honestly thought you were. I kind of figured you were on. I didn't know that you were on 3-stop until the very end of the race when you said that you had already pit for tires when that caution came out, because I thought you were so far back. I'm like, oh, he's definitely fuel saving, and then I kind of forgot about you at that point. I didn't even know you made this pit stop here until I ended up coming out right behind you. I think right in front of you, one of the two.
I thought you wrecked. Like, I knew you made this pit stop because when I was going down the front straightaway, I had to double check to make sure it wasn't Jim.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was so locked into like 42 to 45 pitting.
Yeah, so like like I said, I was saving the first like 15, 20 laps of that run, and I wasn't getting any further on my number. Like, I think I could go to 48. So it was like, all right, that's not anything worthwhile. So about that time I cranked it back up, and at that point I'm already, I'm already, tires are already plateaued. I'm not running it maybe a tenth faster than you guys going full tilt. I'm like, well, shoot, this might be over before we started. I do chip away, like I gain like 2 seconds every cycle, but there's not enough.
Yeah.
And we don't get through the last cycle to see how it really would have panned out, how close I would have been, but I don't think it was close enough. But we're working lap 39 here. You say you pit on 30. What lap you pit on here, Cam?
I think either 38 or 39.
Of the run, so that would be like 40. Yeah, there you go.
Nope, right there. Right there.
Be this lap. I think you're the first. Yeah, you're the next to pit other than me.
Yeah, I pit early. I pit on the number I was planning on to, even before that first wreck.
Yeah.
This is probably where I was gonna pit, even if it had gone green to this point. Just because I knew, I figured it was I wasn't sure if it was gonna be Jackson or Miguel, but I knew that somebody else was gonna be on the same strategy that I was on, so I was just trying to get ahead of that, and then you'll see how I ended up being behind that here in a second. Or we won't.
I was just trying to go to the next guy who's pitting, or did you? Something happened to you,
I,
obviously.
I slid through my box.
Okay, my fault.
No, you're good. And so with Dakota, I don't know if he ended up pitting this time, but
Oof.
Miguel ends up pitting, I think, next time by or the time after, and I end up cycling behind him. I'm almost wrecking pit road.
That would have been interesting.
I tried to. I pitted with 2 laps of fuel left right here.
That's also interesting.
I knew if I went all the way till I ran out, Jackson was going to short pit me, and I couldn't let that happen.
So everybody hits pit road the lap after Camron, other than Brandon and Griffin.
Griffin went really, really far. I wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting that many laps to be able to be made out of fuel, even with saving.
He was doing the max save. So.
And it became one of those things where, like, the longer he stayed out, I was like, this is getting less and less viable.
Yeah, just like Vegas for me. The last couple laps you run are almost a full 2 seconds slower, or more than a second slower than the like 5 lap average on the fresh tires. You're running by the end of 5, 10 hard laps, you're running 33s, and he was running 34 ones at the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And to be honest, if I had been in the championship, I probably would have also been on the fuel stage, the saving strategy. But given that I had a little bit more to risk here, I wanted to just see how fast I could go and see if it would work. This is about the time I realized that you had already pit, because I'm like, oh, James is a lap down, he must have wrecked. And then I'm like, wait, no he didn't. He pit already.
yeah, I think Griffin's gonna pop out like more or less right around me, and that'll have completed the cycle, and we'll get a gauge on, because it was 7.7 the lap that I pitted, 7.7 behind Dakota, and here comes, I think Griffin's on the apron. So yeah, I'm gonna come out right in front of him.
Right there, you passed.
Yeah. So when we get
To be honest, not as much as you would have thought that he would have lost, because he was about, maybe half that distance from me at most.
as I cross the line, this is lap 12 of my run. I'm 5.4 seconds back, so I picked up 2.3. And with you guys all saving, like it wasn't gonna get worse than that, like too much worse than that, other than Camron not saving, obviously. But like I'm not racing Camron, I'm racing Griffin, Dakota, and Jackson. So you know, once Cam and Miguel get past Dakota, that's when like the margin changes for me. But again, that wasn't my concern. I would have liked to have seen how close I would have gotten if it all cycled through, but we can skip ahead to that next pit cycle.
I will say in the middle of this pit cycle, it was very unfortunate to have to let Miguel and Camron go.
Yep, this is that second run I was talking about with Miguel. I kept getting to him after we by you, and I am.
I want to ride with Dakota here.
Oh, they hear the hybrid strategy?
At the Baptist Health line there. Is that the Baptist Health flag you were clutching?
Yeah, I was actually... Yeah, that was a little earlier than I practiced. Probably. Because I'm rolling the corner, no brake going in.
Got that Georgia internet striking again.
I don't want to hear it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Hey, at least as long as we can tell where you are, I don't care. Yeah, man, dude, Miguel was ripping the wall. There was a couple times where I thought that he's definitely not.
And I just remember thinking this whole time as y'all got closer, I was like, please let the tires fall off so I can keep leading. I don't want to have to let you go, but...
Boy, they did not fall off.
No.
Not enough.
No, because like again, I ran 100 laps straight hard, and I never got worse than like 52 on the right front. And again, I was running full tilt.
The weird thing is they would fall to like 50%, but like I didn't feel like the times that you put on the track were falling parallel to the percentage that iRacing was telling you that it fell off.
I would be interested to see what kind of percentage Griffin had at the end of a run when he's running 34-second laps. If it was like Phoenix, where it was like suddenly 15% on the right front, and then you're not turning any left. But yeah, I mean, for me,
I don't know.
Oh, we missed Miguel, got by Dakota right there. Just riding that top line.
This is what me and you have been talking about since Monday. Does he get by me on the top because it's faster? Or does he get by me on the top because I'm clutching?
I don't know. I think he was just a probably part of both. I think he was it faster. No, I mean I get to him eventually, running the bottom, but he's just so good on the top that I think it was at that point he was faster than you at the top with you clutching. And I mean, but he was like, even when I moved to the top, I could not run as consistently the lap times that he was running. Especially on old tires. That's like the tires, you could feel the tires. Evidence by the fact that I wiped myself and Miguel out, but on the bottom I didn't really feel it at all, which is why I wish I would have just switched to the bottom and just had faith that I could keep him behind me there, but I had no faith.
When I had, and we'll get to it again later, when I had old tires with a heat cycle from the yellow, had nothing to put on, like, they came in better up top. I'd go drive it into the bottom and it just wouldn't stick and it'd slide and I'd have to be out of the throttle way too long. But like the top, it was more what you'd expect going to the top, so I don't know.
And it could be just because I practiced it. I mean, when I passed Camron for the lead on the first run, it took about 7 laps to complete
It was, if you wanted to blow by somebody, odds are that was good. You wanted to slowly get by.
Alright.
Like, I mean, you'll probably see me pull up to his bumper here on the, but I just cannot. There's multiple times where I was able to pull even to him, but just the fact that the bottom, I'd have to let out the gas on corner exit just to not take us both out. It just would allow Miguel just to pull right by me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said last week, you just, when you're able to get into the throttle up there earlier, the run off is just that much better, so. Getting to the start of the second, there we go. Okay, lap 70, start of the second, green flag cycle.
At the same time on that too, I wonder if it was just that, you were saving tire on the bottom, and so after 5 to 10 laps into a run, the bottom was faster just because, just better tires. I don't know if it had more raw speed than the top did though. During the race at least. Obviously in qualifying it did. Griffin asks, when was he running 34s, James?
I think at the very end of this run, you run a couple 34s right before you pit.
You know, these iRacing pit crew guys would be faster if they started unscrewing the... I don't know if the tire changes started doing something before the par got...
Oh, I know. They, I don't know if it was Phoenix or Bristol, but like I'm sitting in the box for like half a second. And I'm like, little urgency, guys. Racing for a championship here.
You know, I wonder if your positioning in the box affects how quickly they start the stop.
It absolutely does, because they'll shuffle if you miss the spot. but
Interesting.
the one, I mean, I'm not joking though, or maybe it was the manifold truck roval race we ran. I'm in the box before they jump off, and I'm like, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's just stacks everything up for no reason.
Griffin, it's very possible I misread it live, but I was trying to keep note on the lap times you guys were running, especially when I was on fresh tires. So I think I saw you run a couple 34s late in your fuel save, but maybe I'm mistaken. We'll see. We are on lap 75. We can skip to probably about 84 or something when you guys start thinking about pitting.
I'm gone, so I
You
must
pit
pit.
it? Okay, you pit this lap.
Yep, I pit about probably 3 laps earlier than my number. Trying to jump Jackson because at this point I'm like, I knew, or not Jackson, sorry. I saw Griffin's message. I was trying to jump Miguel, which I ended up doing. Unable to keep it, but I just figured I could not, no matter what I was trying on track, I couldn't get by him, so I was trying to get by him on pit road here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you kept it right up until you didn't.
Yeah, I've had a couple of costly mistakes, as we'll see, and that amounted to me not making hardly any changes and just hoping that I would be able to make the next corner stick. Oh,
Did you have an issue, Cam, on pit road, or is it just pit road's long, huh?
it's just a long pit road. I actually got on and off just like probably perfect. I think it's just a long pit road. I actually came out. I think I only barely lost the lap. I don't think I was that far. I mean, I was pulled out right behind Dakota,
Yeah.
but he's sitting about 5-6 seconds behind Miguel, so not bad. I think I ended up coming out, I think 2 seconds behind or in front of Miguel. So it ended up being about a 3-second swing, hitting early there. I should have just run the bottom, but I figured I was at this point. I'm just like, I can run the top. But I knew the bottom was faster, but I decided to try to run the top here, and ended up not working for me.
Yep. Miguel hits pit road. It's lap 85, working 86.
Yeah, Dakota in the race was telling me that his number was 94 or 90. Yeah, 94, and I was just trusting him. And I knew that I couldn't make it to 94, so that's part of. I was just thinking about switching strategies, and after I paid, like, oh, actually, I only need to make it to 90, and I'm like, well, I could have saved to 90.
It's so hard though. You have to to get to 45. You have to go pretty much from the start.
Yeah, I still felt like I could get there just because I would have only had to save like 2 or 3 laps, but not that I really cared that much. I mean, I knew what strategy I was going to go for. It would have just been if I changed my strategy like midway through the second round.
87.
Well, when I told you 94, I was trying to figure out what lap I could push to the end. but James pitting every 35 laps, and then you short pitted, and trying to do the math on all of that in my head when it wasn't even out of fuel was.
Yeah, that's what I ran into at Phoenix. Mapping during the race is not the move.
Yeah, and I made the mistake of trusting Dakota's math. Because if I knew that I could make it 45 laps, and I was like, yeah, 34 makes sense. That's only 40 laps. At the end.
So here comes
But-
Brandon giving up on his long strategy with Griffin. And like there was a
Just felt like short pitting.
33.70. What's that, Dakota?
It just felt like short pitting was the play. Like I kept it right here with 1.5 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, I felt like you could have pushed it with the gap that you had to Jackson, but if you can make it, there's no reason to push it at that point and risk potentially them pitting and short pitting you. And then you would risk having to battle them and losing out on even more fuel that way.
It's just kind of like trying to run his race through my car. Like I was trying to figure out where is he gonna pit to short pit me kind of thing.
Yeah. Miguel just hunted me down on this run though.
Okay.
Only took him a couple of laps to get to me.
So you said you have 1.5 in the tank here?
Yes.
Alright, well then we are gonna just to show where we're at difference-wise. Jackson's out of fuel.
Hmm.
Dang.
Out of fuel.
And that's what he was telling me after the race, that I was like consistently just had 2 more laps of fuel in him.
Doesn't show the fuel pressure dropped to 0, but he said he was out and had to coast it from the backstretch to his pit stall. And you can hear it's off.
Definitely coasted it better than Dakota did in the truck series.
Alright. Well, knowing that now, I could have just went the extra laps, but
Honestly, just wild you were able to make that work like that.
I could never explain it. Like him asking me how I did it, and we just were doing the same thing. I don't know.
Griffin back to the point.
So he's still out. How many was the interval to me here?
I don't think
Point.
Griffin fully committed right here.
To the save?
Yeah, because he pits like 2 laps after us versus 3 the first time.
Yeah.
Well, granted, he doesn't necessarily have to commit as hard to it because he got those extra laps of that first stint.
But to Dakota's point, if he goes the same distance, that's 6 laps he can run, or 6 fewer laps he has to run. Here at the end, he can go hard. And maybe that
True.
makes a difference.
Yeah, because like right here, where I pitted at, I'm pushing as hard as I can right now, but as soon as I get heat in the tires, I have to clutch a little bit the rest of the race.
There goes Griffin.
True, but with that, even if he does stay out, is he running too slow of lap times? That's just going to be too far behind anyway.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, did he realize that he was going to lose too much?
So, just for a brief second here, I move into the lead in the championship on my strategy, which is, again, what makes me feel like I have a shot, but you've already made your last pit stop, so.
And yeah, I will say when I realized you were in front of me, I was like, maybe. But then I immediately realized that you don't make it to the end. So.
Oh yeah, no, like I had another pit stop to make, but like when I see that you're closing on me, I'm like, I relayed to Jackson, I'm like, oh, Dakota's trying to get by me, he's not saving.
Yeah, because I'm still not saving right here.
Yeah. And I was like, that's good news, and Jackson's like, sweet, I'm still saving. We thought that would
But-
play out a little different in the end.
Well, the moment I get by you, I start clutching.
Oh, I know. Yeah, as soon as you got in front of me and you didn't drive away, you just parked it. I did
Definitely
not.
would have been interesting to see how close it would have been. Like, I think with the early caution, I think that it definitely showed that Dakota's strategy was the one to be on to win the race. But I wonder, without that caution, it's going to be a lot closer. I wonder if it ends up being swinging the other way.
Yeah. Well, and if I can, like, my plan was to make it seem like I was saving. So if I could run like just a little bit harder than you guys wanted to save to that number, then you can't go to 45 maybe. You know, at the end of the run, you're only making it to 44 or something like that, and that creates a problem down the road. So that was my goal. Knowing that I didn't think that the two-stop, like 134 green laps going two-stop, I didn't think it was the move in my testing I found. But, you know, didn't play out that way.
I also think the way that I like. What am I trying to say here? At the beginning of the race, yes, at the beginning of the race, I pushed in front of everybody. And I didn't even worry about my fuel until I was in front of everybody and I could see what they were doing based off the relative.
Right, and that again is the difference between the yellow and topping off on lap 3 or not, because like you can either save from the first lap to make it to 45, or you can push to make it a 3-stop strategy. You don't get to play push, save, push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, early caution definitely let me run a hybrid strat.
There's my last pit stop, last set of tires.
I have to say, after that, during that first caution, I thought that you rage quit because you were on pit road twice, and I'm like, did I just make him that bad?
No, no, so like my overlays weren't working for whatever reason, so I was trying to fix it, and then made sure I didn't lose a lap, rolled back out, came back in, and topped off because I had to go hard to catch back up to the field before coming back down to top off.
Yeah.
It's around this point I realized I probably should have moved to the bottom because I'm a little swirly on the top. But I stayed up there.
I mean, you're not wrong. Miguel is ripping up there.
I know, like I'm fighting for my life up there right now, despite the fact that it looks like I got like a half-second lead, and I do. But he looked like he was just smooth. Every time I look in my mirror, he's running the exact same line he was every other lap, and I just couldn't run that consistently up there.
Well, unlike Darlington, he knows the spots where he can touch the wall and bounce off and not get sucked into it.
That's part of what got him closer to me is that there were multiple right there. Yep.
Ooh, there's a
That was another moment I should have realized. Surprised I didn't hit the wall there, to be honest, but I was really hoping he'd dive to the inside, but he was smart enough not to do that because he knew he was faster than me up top. But yeah, there was multiple times in this run that I would get sucked into the wall and just couldn't get off of it, and allowed him to get in to really draw even with me earlier in the run, more so than later.
It'd be interesting when we come back here in the Gen 6. You know, you'll get like 2 of those wall touches before it's undrivable.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're going to see the majority of the field on the bottom or the middle.
Let's jump to the good stuff.
Good stuff.
Air quotes.
For who? I was going to say, for who?
This is a good battle, though.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were battling. I think we were in most of this run. Yeah, he really knew how to hit the wall because every time he hit the wall, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to have a little. Wouldn't lose any time, and I'm like, okay, never mind, take that back.
No, and there's times where he bounces and gains instead of just like
Oh yeah,
maintaining. And like there, you're
I mean,
scrubbing. You're scrubbing the wall to
yeah,
his little bounces.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I knew that that was faster, so every time he hit the wall, I'm like, I hope he's gonna pull up to me after a certain point at least, because in practice, every time, all like I think the top 4 times in practice, looking at it, everybody had bounced off the wall at one point in that lap. And so I knew bouncing off the wall was faster.
That's what Dakota was going
I
for in
just didn't.
qualifying too.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my opening lap, I was going to build up momentum that way.
And then there's that. Yep.
And overcorrection.
And then just lost it on the.
Carson Hocevar.
Um,
Self spin.
And as I rolled by him right there, I was like, and it's the Homestead curse for me.
As I rolled by him, I was saying not nice things into my microphone. 9 lap
So-
old, 9 lap old, last set of tires, and all I see is Camron sitting by himself. Little did I know, he also murdered Miguel. So, felt less frustrated by the yellow after I saw the replay and saw Miguel's troubles. From
Yeah. Yeah, part of it was just surprise, like the fact that iRacing didn't throw it. I mean, I know the reasons with how their simulation works, but really should have been a caution just because of how aggressively it affected Miguel, regardless of me. If it was just me, it is what it is. But
Yeah, I mean, you
didn't want to ruin his race.
like you guys made hard contact and you slid across all 3 racing lanes. I know there was nobody there, but like it wasn't like it was quick either. And it's not
No.
like Darlington where there's 200 yards of pavement below the racing surface.
Absolutely.
So, but Miguel gets a fast repair and we get a restart. I got a lucky dog to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I sent myself to the back. I didn't deserve to be in contention for this one.
Not all the way back though.
No, I would have let you by. I just didn't even know you were there until it would have been like it would have been way too late for me to let you by at that point.
Yeah, I know. Just kidding.
Oh, my race is over right here.
Oh man, where did that? Did that
Yeah.
happen in 2?
No, that happened under caution.
Under caution.
Oh yeah, it came coming to the green. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh my gosh.
I do not like this car.
Oh my gosh.
Like, there's no reason it should have done that, but this car just did it.
Wow.
To be honest, I thought your wheel was disconnected. It was that aggressive.
That was shades of Jackson at Indy with the wheel disconnect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was dragging the brake, and when I let go of the brake, it just shot to the right.
I wondered why you felt like a rock, and then when you said you had wheel damage, I just assumed you tagged the wall like into 1.
No.
Very much
The whole
that.
time I was thinking, Homestead curse, Homestead curse.
admittedly, I'll see how I surprised you because I didn't move up there until a little bit down the straightaway, James.
Yeah, and again, you were totally fine in it, and it stems from the lap before this. My dad shocking me going to the top when I wanted it. Brandon being late going to the middle, bottom, didn't expect it. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, if I could work the darn thing. Where are we at here? Of course not. Yeah, this might be the best view of it. Yeah, I thought you were gonna just go under Dakota. And again, totally clear. I was already hot from everything, and then I didn't know that Dakota was down there. So I thought you were gonna give me more room, but you couldn't. And there she goes. Because you know what 15 lap old tires need is a 300-yard slide.
Yeah, you just broke them in.
Yeah, no, they're
Shades of,
good to go now.
I know we talked about Darlington with like hell, little shades of Darlington there with you on roll tires.
Yeah.
Not to bring up another heartbreaking loss for you, but
Yeah, no, I mean, that was the most frustrating part about this is, like, again, coming into the week, I was talking about how I didn't think I was going to really have anything for anyone, but to have no control over it on these old tires, that was the worst part. Like, there's nothing I could do at that point, so.
Yeah. And I think this little run will be the absolute hardest I drove all night.
Yep, fresh car for you, quick repair.
tell you what, Miguel had to work for this win though. I think 3 late restarts, and he held his own on all 3. I think we're coming to 10 to go here.
Well, what would have been?
A little foreshadowing.
Not the foreshadowing.
Just
Hey, in my defense, the flame out the pipes there.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just, you know, you talked about being in dirty air, and I'm on old tires, so I just assumed that you packed air and got me loose. So I just made sure I didn't wreck you. So
This is what I was confused about. This is what I've been talking about for 2 days. Everyone's on the top.
yeah, and you're just wrapping bottom and picking them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that first restart, me and Dakota were in a voice chat, and I'm like, hey, just FYI, the bottom is way faster.
It's like, you don't have to tell me. I know.
Yeah, I just, again, used up tires. I could not run the bottom. But you guys with your
I think
fresh
Jackson
tires.
picks it up. Jackson picks up on it here this lap, I think.
I saw a feature for a second.
So right here, I had to like slam on the brakes to keep from spinning. This is just hard racing. I mean, he's pecking air on me. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
But you get off the corner a little better. Oof.
And dump.
I thought I was dead because I was a little bit further behind this. I thought Jackson was going to bounce back across the track.
He had gotten muted in the Discord before that run, just because it was seeming like it was going to be the last run. So I can only imagine what he was saying in those moments.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah. If we thought what I was saying when I saw Camron on the infield was mean, I can only imagine. But yeah. Yikes.
Oh, it's not over yet,
No,
folks.
it's not.
Yeah, I think the only driver without any self-inflicted mistakes was Miguel.
And this, I mean, he just goes late in the box as he's totally in his right to do. He's the control car, and Griffin does not anticipate that. And the rest of the field. All six
whole
other
field.
Sorry, that was
cars.
kind of comedic. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Oh, it was the entire field.
Where's Jim going? I'm sorry, but where are you going? He like gassed it up into it.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight, park it, but
I
I
think he
guess,
literally picked up speed right there. He was aiming for you.
well, it was open for a second. I mean, he's got
Oh,
a
man.
shot if it.
I think he just lost it. I think he was making it through. I
Oh,
think he
you know
lost
what?
it.
The next gen got him. He
Yes,
cut it to the
yes. I
right.
was just gonna say you can see him cut it. You cannot make quick movements in this car.
No.
Oh, we'll do this. You're 100% right. Next gen bit him.
Yep.
Oh, it just looked like he was aiming at you. He's like, I see that 20. I gotta.
I mean, because he net coded right through Brandon, so he was going to be good there. If he goes straight, he
I don't know.
probably catches
I-
Griffin,
yeah.
but
He might.
whole field. Except for one man.
I think I was just looking in his rearview mirror, freaking out. Like, is everybody?
And we have a long parade of caution laps, letting everyone get back on the lead lap for the green-white checkered. For just a second, I thought I had a shot at this thing tonight. When I started second, and I didn't know, maybe you guys like really roasted your tires in the spins. Then we drive into one.
Yeah, I was concerned about it.
Oh, mine were gone. But I don't even think I improved my position, so yeah, mine were definitely gone.
But like I knew Miguel was taking the top, so I tried to go middle, and I'm out of it. There, I'm out of it. Fighting it. Nothing. So
I wonder if Griffin gets him there without having to look the 3 wide. He had a decent shot there.
IndyCar snake down the back stretch.
so used to officials, people doing that on like lap 20. I got annoyed for a second before I realized it was the white flag.
And Miguel finally pulls one off. And,
Deservedly so. He deserved this one. You have to work.
and Dakota Nichols, a deserving champion with his 5 wins, 5 poles, 11 top 5s, 8 billion laps led, and an average finish of 2.4.
If you're undershooting it with 8 billion laps led. Probably had a little bit more than that.
Calculator only goes so deep.
Yeah. He's just breaking everything, the records and the calculators.
Well, it gives me something to break next season, you know?
Oh,
He'll get there eventually. It's been 12 weeks. He's been waiting
This
for
first
this.
time. This first time.
This is the first time you went a second.
had to knock that cheated right front off.
That's it.
Yeah,
Let
no
it
wonder
pass.
he's able to run the wall.
He had the opposite of Jackson from Phoenix, where the damage was helping him. Well,
Did he disconnect mid burnout?
yes, he did. It was very impressive. Must
It's like
This
Kyle
burnout
Larkin.
was so glorious.
when he did the he fell for the Alt F4 trick. Alrighty. It wasn't pretty, but you got it done.
You know, if Cameron doesn't wreck, none of that happens. So
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right. I guess we can bring it back to that. We just got through everybody else fucking up too.
well, and we can pin it back to one moment.
Okay. Oh man.
now to that point, I think you were probably in the clear if it goes green. So, you know, as ugly as the ending was, I think everything worked out the way it was supposed to. So, as annoying as that is, and as annoying as it is to admit it, but
I would have rather it went green because of this, though, because I knew you stack us all back up on fresh tires. I mean,
oh yeah, with 20 to go,
yeah, it's gonna get ugly. So
yeah.
Yep. Well, next season, while you're out of that issue, we'll have 3-race championship round. Hopefully, just like the real life NASCAR Cup Series. We'll see on that. But for us at least, we're on 3-race. So if it happens, hey, tell you what, if it happens to come down to the last race, then and to the point where it's only a couple positions, then it'll be a hell of a battle either way. But should at least be half the field wrecking, trying to get the win.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is just one of the aspects of a single race championship format. So again,
yeah,
I
a
mean,
whole 13 race season coming down to one.
you know, I mean, you look at your playoffs. It was what, first, second, third, second. That's going to be hard to beat in a
Y-
round.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say, even though I got wrecked at Phoenix, I don't have much room to complain because I still ended up getting third.
so yeah. Again, frustrations and crapshoot of a last little bit aside, deserving champion of the series. And that's it, folks. That's the inaugural season in the books. 7 different winners. So I think that's cool. In a 10 to 11, I think, what, 12, 13 cars started races this season. So
Yeah, exactly. Really competitive all throughout, from Jim winning at Daytona our first 4 races, 4 different winners. And then, if you look at our first
6 of 7.
6 different winners, yeah. Then a little bit of repeat winners between Dakota and Griffin, kind of, and then little James mixed in. And then Miguel pulling it out, that's another winner there at the end. So really, really fun season. I enjoyed it as much as I wish I could have been there at the end. I think 4 best drivers the second half of the season probably got themselves in, and arguably the best, not even arguably, it is best driver all year long wins himself the championship. So
Yeah, as we mentioned, here's the stats. It's just, first in 4 out of the 5 categories. Second by himself in the one he wasn't leading.
yeah, probably an ill-timed nap. The only reason he
Yeah.
category.
Yeah. So.
But
then just playoffs. Me, you, and Griffin, Dakota, top 5s and all. I didn't even realize I finished top 5 in the race until yesterday when you updated the stats. I was so distraught about being last. I thought you beat me or something. I thought I finished like 6th. So.
now I was laying back. I had affected the championship for a point.
True that.
I didn't need to go in and get Cody Ware status.
I mean, maybe for the better though.
All right, let's.
No, I'm saying like you go from a boring finish to a lot of controversy, but a little bit more to cover.
It was cool
Yeah.
to see all 4 of us dicing it in the last couple of restarts, even if it was only for a second with me, or like on the last restart, me going from 2nd to 5th, and you guys having to dice around me. But yeah, no, it was if you take the controversy and the potential controversy out of all that, yeah, it was a fun enough race, fun season. We learned.
I can't lie. Yeah, I can't lie. If a little bit shining through my guilt of screwing up the end, a little bit shine through of like, man, if this was NASCAR though, they'd love this this little couple
Yeah, they would. That's what I'm
restarts here.
saying.
Yeah. They would have lost their
But
collective mind at Jim, Brandon, and Jackson getting multiple laps back as we paced before the green white checkered, though. Our heads would be on pikes.
oh,
So.
oh man, oh everybody deserved to finish on the lead lap there. Everybody did. I know you, despite Jim, Brandon being a couple, they deserve to get themselves a lead lap finish in the last race for sticking out all these races despite not having the best playoffs. But looking forward, I guess we got a couple about almost a month off here, 3 or 4 weeks. I know we'll do
About 3.5.
yeah, so we'll do some fun races. I know Dakota was planning one that I'll let him talk about if he's that far along, but I know I'll host at least one between now and then before we get started with the Holiday Dash.
My bad. I
Nope,
talked
okay.
over you. My mic was a little bit off of. Okay, so
No, you're good.
the one that's not on here that I'm probably gonna throw up before Thanksgiving is North Wilkesboro, and I think I'm gonna throw up $10 to win on that. It'll be a solo thing. It's gonna be a solo crapshoot because we need to figure out if our All-Star race is gonna work next year because you're running second gear in the Gen 6 all the way around there, and you can't change
my
the rear end
God.
ratio. So
Oh
yeah,
my God.
So
I'm gonna
we'll
throw
go
up a
ahead.
$10 to win crapshoot at North Wilkesboro, and if it doesn't work, we're gonna remove that from the All-Star race.
Yeah, and we'll have to discuss whether or not we bring that back to Charlotte or if we bring a different track onto the schedule. Um, we're still testing. All the other racetracks should be okay. Because I think every other track for the most part has a setup aside from the road courses. Um, but just keep your eye out for that especially, and then if something else comes up, we'll obviously update you guys. But then if you guys can't make it to those hosted races, I know we've got the Holiday Dash coming up as well. Um, these 5 racetracks. They're going to be half distance of what we're planning. Our next season is going to be so apart from Charlotte, I made that one a little bit longer for our finale, but only your best 3 finishes will count. So if you have to, I know we added some Fridays in there, so if you can't make those, don't worry about it. Even if you just throw up to the Mondays, you won't have a whole lot of margin for error. So only your only your best 3 finishes will count. Your worst 2 will drop. So if you don't make one, that'll drop, so it won't negatively affect you um, in the standings. It's going to be straight points. We're not going to do any playoff with 5 races. So we'll quickly wrap this up now. But we're going to have this. We're probably going to have another show before then. If not, we'll have one like a holiday show wrapping it up, and then we'll be back for the next season.
Yeah. So just final thoughts, like Cam said, we'll at least have a show after the Holiday Dash. We'll try and work one in before, but we'll see how that goes with the holidays coming up. Parting thoughts, man. Congrats to Dakota on another on the championship. Well deserved, especially after FNX biting you. You had arguably a better season in that. Cam, regular season championship curse lives on. Make sure Dakota wins the regular season championship going forward. And yeah, no, I had fun with you boys, and looking forward to the next couple things coming up.
Yep. Congrats, Dakota, again.
Thank y'all.
Congrats, son. Thanks to both of you for joining me throughout this season for this show. Looking forward to continuing it into the next couple seasons.
Yeah, me too.
Right, with that, I guess we'll wrap up. See y'all next time.
Peace.